Welcome to Life in Calgary, Alberta. I'm your host, Patrick Murray, and today we're going to talk about the current real estate prices in Calgary, Alberta. And stay tuned because I've got some figures that are going to blow your mind. But before we do that, if this is your first time in this channel and you want to know everything there is about what it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, live, and play in Calgary, Alberta, then please hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you get notified every single time I release a new video. Now, I have to tell you, I lived in 5 different major centers in my adult life. But you know what? I moved to Calgary way back in 2001. Yes, I know, it's a long time ago, and it's stuck. And the reason why is because it's a great city. But not only that, I've been a realtor here since 2010. And all of this means I have some specialized knowledge about the city of Calgary and the surrounding bedroom communities. So if you are considering a move to the city of Calgary or one of the bedroom communities, and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, please feel free to reach out to me, send me a text, email, or a phone call. I will absolutely get back to you. Okay guys, let's do this. Let's talk about the current housing prices in Calgary, Alberta, right after this. Okay, so here we go. We're going to talk about the latest market stats as of the end of April 2024. So we are into May right now. So these are the latest statistics. May isn't over. So obviously we don't have those stats to show you. But this is the latest and greatest. And I'm telling you, we're seeing this rising trend throughout all property types in Calgary and setting records for benchmark pricing. And this continues month over month so far. And so this is what's going on in Calgary right now. Before I move forward anymore, I do want to tell you that we're talking about benchmark pricing. So benchmark pricing is more stable than talking about median or average pricing because that data can be skewed by, say, an unusual amount of lower price sales in a month or an unusual amount of higher price sales in a month. But what benchmark pricing does is it establishes a more stable type of pricing across all product types, looking at each community for the average type of a house, an average type of a semi-detached home, and an average type of a townhouse, and an average type of a condominium apartment. It puts it all together. So that's what we're talking about here. And this is what you hear stated in the media when the media talks about what's going on with Calgary housing prices. So first and foremost, we're talking about the detached sector of the market. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this chart here. And you can see a listing absorption rate of 108.81%. Now, what that means is that we had 1,214 listings for sale. And if we weren't getting new inventory on the market, this stuff would sell out very quickly. And because you can see here that there were 1,321 listings that were sold, you might ask, well, how is that possible? Well, we're dipping into the previous month's inventory that was left over. So not only are we 100%, we're 108.81%, which is just incredible. So anything over 50% listing absorption rate is a seller's market. You can see here the balance is 30 to 50, and then the buyer's market is 30 and below. And so you can see we are in a very, very, very strong seller's market. So now we'll take a look at this benchmark pricing for the detached homes. And you can see the benchmark price here is $749,000 for your standard home in Calgary. Standard detached home. So month over month, this is up 1.26% from last month. Year over year, this is up 13.06% from last year. So you can see last year, this is the chart from showing the last 13 months. You can see last year we were at 662,500, and here we are at 749,000 in April. And you can see, last month it was 739,700. So we're up just a little over 10 grand. And you can see the month before that, 721. You can see in January, we were just roughly over $700,000, and now we're up to roughly 750 already. So this is the benchmark price trend chart for the last 10 years. You can see in 2015, the price of a detached home in the city was 516,000, 517 almost. Went down in 2016, up in 2017, down in 2018, 2019, and then for 2020, it started rising, going up, 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 and we haven't looked back. And you can see that we are increasing in price. Now, if you bought a home in 2015, from then to now, the benchmark price would have increased by 40.84%. that's a pretty darn good return in 10 years, I would say. That's, if you make 2 to 3% in a year, you're doing well, generally, they say. So this is amazing, right? Now, something I should mention here, I know for Calgarians, this is a tough pill to swallow because we are seeing our prices go up, up, up. However, when we compare against other major centers, they were doing quite well when Calgary was really hurting and our market was going down. So as a major center, we're actually playing catch up, and we're still very much more affordable than other centers and major centers in Canada. So Toronto, Vancouver, that sort of thing. So that's what's going on here. Now we'll come down here again just to further demonstrate that listing absorption rate. Here's the 1,214 actives, and here's the 1,321 solds. Now, as I said, um, things are moving quite quickly. Month over month, the actives is up 9.07% from last month, but year over year, it's actually down 17.3% from last year. Now, the amount of solds, well, even though, pardon me, sorry, the amount of solds is 14.77% from last month, up year over year. We're up 1.15% from April of last year. So you can see that, you know, things are moving quite quickly and prices are definitely increasing. Now, average days on market right here, we can see, we're currently sitting at 19 days. So this means that if with the current inventory levels, we would sell out in April in a matter of 19 days, or that's how long properties are sitting on the market, but we would sell out within the month if we weren't getting new inventory coming on the market. But we definitely need more inventory because there's a supply demand issue happening in our city. And when supply is low and demand is high, prices are increasing. So we're definitely hoping there will be some rates coming down and putting people in a better position to sell and buy homes. Now, here's the market distribution here. You see the majority of sales for detached homes were in that $600,000 to $700,000 range, followed by that $700,000 to $800,000, followed by that $500,000 to $600,000 range, then the $800,000 to $900,000, and then all the way over here to that $1 million to $1.5 million, and then that $900,000 to $900,000 to $1 million range. So that's what's happening in the detached sector. And now we're going to look at this semi-detached sector of the market. So for those of you unfamiliar with what that means, it's kind of like a duplex, if you will. It's two properties that share a wall in between. They are not condo corporation. This is semi-detached homes. So it's like two detached homes sharing a wall. Here we are. The listing absorption rate is 122.6%. Staggering, guys. Just continues to be staggering. So that means we had just 208 listings come on the market last month, and that's not very many listings for a city of our size. And 255 of those, or 122.6 of those listings, were sold. So that tells us our listing absorption rate. Now, this further demonstrates our benchmark price here, sitting at $668,400. This is up month over month, 1.61% from last month. Year over year, up almost 13% at 12.91%. And here's that 13-year price trend chart. Pardon me, 13-month price trend chart. As of April last year, we were 592,000, and here we are sitting at 668,400,000. So the black demonstrates when prices are going up. Blue demonstrates a pullback, prices going down slightly. And then you can see here that the majority of the months are in black. We've got 4 months where we had a little bit of pullback. Actually, 3 months only, because November was the same as October pricing. So you can see that it's been going up steadily as well. And here's our 10-year price trend chart. Prices in 2015 sitting at 412,800. Here we are at 647,775, 575, pardon me. Now, this may seem a little confusing. It's because 2024 isn't over yet. So it's averaging prices from January, February, March, and April of this year so far to come up at this price. But currently we're sitting at 668,400. Putting them all together for the year, we're sitting at 647,575. Anyways, what this chart does demonstrate is that prices have gone up significantly. So you can see in 2020, the market was going down 2018, 2019, 2020. course, the pandemic, and then took off like a rocket in 2021, up almost 30%, up almost 12% in 2022, up just shy of 7% in 2023. And here we are showing up over 7% so far in 2024. And further demonstrating the amount of sales versus the amount of active. So 208 active properties for sale, 255 sold. So dipping into the previous month's inventory. Now with the actives month over month, this is up 1.46% from March, but year over year, this figure is down 26.5% from last year. So month over month sales are up 2% from last month, and year over year, the sold listings are up 8.97% from last year, even though the amount of active properties, the supply is down 26%. That is really something. And here we are, the days on market chart. You can see we're sitting at 22 days right now. We're 21 the month prior to, 26 in February. Last year, we were sitting at 25 days respectively. So, going down in days on market. And here's where the majority of those sales took place, in that $500,000 to $600,000 range, followed by the $600,000 to $700,000 range, followed by that $400,000 to $500,000 range, and then that $800,000 to $900,000, and then the $900,000 to $1.5 million were tied. So they were at the same amount sold, and then that $700,000 to $800,000 range. So now we're going to take a look at the City of Calgary row housing, which are townhomes, if you will. And you can see here the listing absorption rate is 142.9%, which is absolutely staggering. We had 338 listings last month, 483 listings sold, meaning we dipped into the previous month's inventory. So 100% of our inventory sold, and we dipped into 42.9% of the previous month's inventory. So that is absolutely staggering. And here's the benchmark price for a townhome in Calgary right now at $458,100. Now, this is up from last month, 2.09%, but year over year, this is up over 20% at 20.02% from last April. And here it is last April, $381,700. You see a lot of black here, so our prices are rising. Slight pullback in December, and then taking off again in January, February, March, and April, sitting at $458,100 currently. Now, this is our 10-year benchmark price history, and you can see that in 2015, we're sitting at $323,000, and then down 2016 all the way to 2020, going down, 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 down. And the reason why is because we started to have a lot of these properties for sale at this time, because there was more properties available than buyers. So it was more of a buyer's market. And then you can see in 2021, things started to take off, up 11%, up 14.81%, up 12.3%. And then so far this year, we're up 10.88% from last year. And here we are, the active and sold listings. This will better demonstrate the listing absorption rate. So we had 338 active properties for sale, 483 sold again. So month over month, the actives down 4.79% from last month. Year over year, down 14.65%. So, we were low in supply last year, so we're even lower in supply this year. The solds up month over month, 7.57% from last month. Year over year, we're up 16.11%, even though the supply is down 14.65% from last year. So that tells me that Calgarians are very hungry for homes. And what happens when we have a high demand and low supply? Well, we see prices go up. And here's the average days on market. So month over month rate, or pardon me, the average days on market. So last month, this past month, we were 19 days on market, and the previous year we were sitting at 22. So fairly similar, but it is a little bit hotter. As you can see, these are average days on market are up. Homes are selling 11.76% slower compared to March, but year over year, this figure is down. Homes are selling 13.64% faster compared to last year. And here's the market distribution. Most of those sales coming at $400,000 to $500,000 range, followed by that $300,000 to $400,000 range, and then closely followed by that $500,000 to $600,000 range, and then the $600,000 to $700,000 range, followed by the $200,000 to $300,000 range. Not many and then looking at the $700,000 to $800,000 range, so on and so forth. And now we're going to round out by looking at the City of Calgary apartment statistics. And here we are. We can see here the listing absorption rate here is 86.44%. We might say, oh, well, that's certainly not bad. Well, you have to consider the other figures that we showed you earlier with the listing absorption rates that were well over 100%, is absolutely shocking. 86.44% is still a very, very strong seller's market. And you can see here that as of April 2024, we had 951 listings for sale. 822 of those, or 86.44% of those listings, were sold last month. So, I mean, that really says something still. And here is the 13-month market history. You can see the benchmark price here sitting at $346,200, which is up 2.52% from last month, which again is a huge gain. Year over year, it's up 17.72% from last year. And here you can see we were sitting at 294,100 last April, and here we are sitting at 346,200. And what do you see? You see black, which means rising prices all year long. So again, this part of the market is very hot. Again, this is the more affordable sector of the market, and that's why we see a lot of demand here. Now, this is the benchmark price trend chart for the past 10 years. See, in 2015, we were sitting at 292,458, which last April, you would have surpassed that, right? And in 2016, it went down, 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 down. And again, we had an oversupply in the market. Calgary wasn't doing well financially, not financially, but I guess, with our exports of what we produced as a province, all the other markets seem to be going up, but we weren't. And we had an oversupply. When there's an oversupply, it means it's a buyer's market. We have more product available and we have buyers. And then you see we had a huge turnaround. And let me tell you guys, we had like 10 months supply of properties in some of these years. But here things have severely changed. So 2021 went up, and in 2022, 2023, I would say we recovered. We recovered from what we were in 2015 at 302. Well, we recovered probably in the late part of 2022, but here we were sitting at 302,042. And so far we're sitting at 334,375 if you take into account January, February, March, and April of this past year so far. So if you bought a property in 2015 and you were selling in 2024, you can see that looking at benchmark prices, it's gone up 14.33%. And now we'll look at the actives and solds. You can see that we had 951 actives, 822 solds, again, further demonstrating that listing absorption rate. So the amount of actives is up 10.71% from last month. Year over year, though, this figure is down 12.91%. And if we look at the amount of solds, month over month, we're up 0.98%. But year over year, we're up 11.99% from April of last year, even though the market is down in supply 12.91%. And then we have here the average days on market, and you can see we're sitting at 23, didn't change from last month. Year over year, the average days on market is, homes are selling 14.8% faster compared to April of 2023. And here's the market distribution, looking at that $300,000 to $400,000 range at 40%, just over 40%, and that 200 to 300, followed by that 400 to 500, and then you can see that 5 to 6, and that less than 200,000 were tied, and then going on, so on and so forth. So like I said, if you are considering a move to the City of Calgary or one of the bedroom communities and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, please feel free to reach out to me. Send me a text, email, or a phone call. I will absolutely get back to you so you can live your life in Calgary, Alberta.